Heyo!
Hey, 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 how's everybody doing today? Not seeing very many people in the chat, but we would love to hear from you. If you're here, say hello. Um, tonight's going to be kind of a chilled stream, laid back. We're not going to have a lot of content, I don't think, but we're going to be talking about some stuff for fun. Hail Mo Biggs, how you doing? Thanks for stopping by. As always, we appreciate it.
I got some getting the YouTubes.
What's been going on? What are you doing?
I got to get in the YouTube so I can get in the chat with people.
I was asking you, what's going on? What's been happening with you?
Well, just had Thanksgiving. My parents came in. That was really nice.
That's cool.
Why don't
did your mom make you pay for dinner like she said?
In the chat.
Okay, well, did your mom make you pay for dinner?
No.
What? She said, I'm going to get on her now. I'm going to have to say something to your mom.
Well, she loves me, so suck it.
Oh, that's weak. That's so weak. I'm going to be like, man, Barb, what happened? I thought you were I thought she was going to like tan your hide, man.
So my mom's going to be a recurring character now on the show?
Yeah, I think so. I think she should. Definitely.
I don't know if she'll text it. We were actually thinking of going to the we were thinking of going to the snake thing, but it was just so cold, man. It's like winter cold.
Oh yeah, no, that's more of a thing you do outside. That's whenever you want to be outside. Yeah, take a hike. I want to go with you anyway. I was hoping you and I would go just so we could talk about our weird shit that we like to talk about. But yeah, Murph, don't be brutal.
Oh, you know what? I didn't put it on my Twitter that we have a thing tonight. Give me a second.
Hey man, that is a nice ugly tongue reference that Mo's using right there. Don't be brutal. Might be his favorite song. I don't know.
It seems like Mo's a fan. That you already got a fan.
He likes that. Don't be brutal, man. That's awesome. That's so good.
He listened even before they were on the show, so that's awesome. Mo does his research.
Man,
that's why he's the king of all the chats.
It's true. It's true. You know, we're gonna have to link people to that eventually too. I'm gonna have to put a thing up here on a banner or something with ugly tongue just to get people looking at it. We had a really good response on that show. Now we're seeming to nosedive again, but we'll get back into content, guys. It's just right before the holidays, and I think we're just kind of in a stretch of time where we're just well, we have a lot going on. Since we're talking about that, we might as well update you on what we do have going on. I have something to show everybody. A graphic I put out on Twitter yesterday. Let me see if I can zoom in. I don't think I can get it any bigger. There we go. Anyway, this is our graphic that we're going to put out. We're showing everybody how far we are in the book. All line art is complete for Ballad of the Celestials. We have pencils and inks at 100%. Now, the thing about that is all the interior line art, I would say we're still working on one cover. Mm-hmm. And hello, Joseph. How you doing?
Hey, Dad.
And so we're still working on one cover, but that is 50% done.
I'd say more.
I still have some things, some final touches on it to do, some characters to finish out, but it's looking pretty sweet. Then inking on that cover. Once we get that done, though, that'll be sent off for color. And then basically that brings us to colors. We're 25% with the book, roughly 25%. We have a couple cover pages, we have a cover done. We have 3 finished pages, and then we have 3 more on their way. So that puts us about a third of the book, quarter of the book, I'm sorry, done. But
I mean, the letters, we actually have them placed everywhere. We just need to get a professional to letter it. But when you think about it, it's not like, they can almost just move stuff around, honestly.
Well, I thought about that, and then I thought, I don't want to do that, because if they want to put their own artistic spin on it, I want to give them free reign to show us what they can do. and
Sure.
I'm sure they'll do a better job than me. I have a learning curve on that. So yeah, I went ahead and lettered the book, but it's, you know, as soon as, who was it? We had 656 Comics on, and Oliver showed me. He was like, "Yeah, I see some tangents," and I was like, "Ah, man." So I was like, "Okay, looks like we're going to hire somebody to do it," and so that's where we're at. We're going to be, um, I would say at the beginning of the year, once the cover's done, we are going to be ready to send the book for coloring. Once we can get that back, hopefully it won't take real long, but we're going to launch during probably the process of getting it colored,
Yeah.
or at least some of it colored. Let's put it that way. And then we're going to launch in January. Whenever we launch in January, then we'll get colors back after we fund, and then we can letter it, get it ready for print, and then we're going to be off to the races. So I think we're not going to have to, take a long time to fulfill this book.
No, I think we should
The
be
only
able
way
to
that it would take
fulfill
us a
in that
while.
March.
Yeah. Well, let me just say one thing
What's
before I
Comic
respond to
Blast?
Mo here. Wait, before I respond to Mo, one thing I want to say is I think the fulfilling will be pretty quick, except the only thing that might slow us down would be some of the things I'm hearing with some of the printing going on. A lot of people are having printing problems at this time, and makes me a little nervous. So it makes me think, okay, we might run into some problems there, but that, once again, that's going to be stuff out of our hands. That's going to be after we send, everything to them, and we're going to have to wait for, them to send it back to us. So, yeah, Mo, let us know what Comic Blast is. You're waiting for Comic Blast. Is that the shipping, or what are they doing with Comic Blast?
Yeah. Do you even know what that is, or I don't know if that's.
I've heard of it. I just can't remember what they do. So I'm trying to figure that out. He said that's why he's waiting for it. So obviously they're
How much do you think
having
it costs
something
to
to do
get
with
like
shipping.
your own printer that would like do the comic itself?
Man, oh, I think you're
You know what I
talking
mean?
money, man.
You think because they have 3D,
Oh,
those 3D printers, you would think that like a regular printer would be cheaper than what those things are.
Comic
Right?
Blast is a comic book creation app from Adobe. Okay. Well, hey, man, I'm ready for that ARO comic book. So I want to see it happen. I've championed it from the beginning. Okay. Okay, well, I'm going to look into it and see what it is. I'll look
Yeah, I
into it
haven't
and
heard of that. That's
see what
interesting.
you can do. Yeah. Um, so, yeah, so that's most of our update. The other part would be we should be sending our first update to everybody that signed up. We just had a Cyber Monday sale, and I think that with the Cyber Monday sale, we got a lot of visitors, but we did not get people signing up for the book. We only had 2 people sign up. We had like 22 people visit. So, Murph and I are trying to figure this out, man, because it's kind of stumping us a little bit. We're trying to figure out what draws a person to it and not sign up. And if,
Yeah.
it's okay if people don't sign up, but it makes me wonder, what are they waiting on? What are we not doing? And what can we do to help it out? And so, yeah, Mo, I think we'll check that out, man. I'll go back and try to look that up. That'll be really cool.
Does he have a whole YouTube on it where that's in the title of the Comic Blast, or is it just during one of his normal shows?
I don't know. He said he did a whole stream. It's probably on there because if you go back, he usually puts everything right out in the open.
Well, I want to know, Mo, what
So.
is its true potential? What has this thing got that it's so great?
I don't know. He says a lot of people get hung up on competent art and quality lettering. I say forget that stuff. Comic Blast is the future. Okay. He said, let me see if I can find the stream. He's probably going to send us a link. That'll be cool. That'd be great, man. Yeah.
Want to get super meta
so,
where we put someone else's YouTube on our YouTube and then just make comments?
Yeah. 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 No, but so Cyber Monday. Let's get back to that. I mean, we had that set up yesterday for Cyber Monday. It got people to the sign up page, and if you're new to the stream or anything, our sign up page is in the link in the chat. It should be pinned at the top whenever you join, and just make sure that you check that out. Click on it. And sign up. I mean, it's not going to hurt to sign up. If you don't back the book, that's one thing, but sign up, check it out, get in that list so you know what's going on if you want to know more about our book, Ballad of the Celestials. So Mo put the link up. So that'll be on the YouTube. So I'm not sure if it'll take me right to it or not, but yeah, it did, actually. Took me right to it. Okay. Interesting.
How long ago was it? I don't remember ever seeing it.
2020, October 2020. So about a year ago, year and a month ago. So cool. Thanks, Mo.
Oh, so before we
I'll check that out.
Oh, so this has been going for a while, Mo. Why is no one else talking about this?
I don't know if it's probably for I don't know if it's something you can actually do it with, or is it going to do it all for you? If it does it all for you, people aren't going to be into that as far as creators go.
It's
Creators
interesting.
probably be like, "What the hell?"
I was really selling it though, saying that.
Yeah, he was.
So it does it. He's got me interested in it. So
yeah, it might work, but I don't want a machine making my comic for me. It's like using Poser to make all my poses of my heroes, you know, where it does all the 3D animation poses for me in Clip Studio. You can do that, and it makes me so angry because I'm like, you should be drawing it yourself. That's the whole craft, is drawing it.
How does it do it for
having that do it for you? Because it's already in there, and all you have to do is drag and drop an arm. Like if I'm posed and I'm like this, I can put my cursor on the fist and move the arm wherever I want it, and it'll move me in a 3D sphere. And it'll move that 3D body. And so you don't even have to draw it. It'll do it for you. And I'm like, that's not okay. So I don't like that kind of stuff. You know, that's not the craft of creating comic books. The craft of creating is drawing stuff, you know, creating things on your own.
Do you think anybody uses that?
Oh, yeah.
Can you tell if someone's using it?
Sometimes, yes, if they don't cover it very well. But a lot of times, the truth about that is people use it to learn from, and that can be a good tool to learn from. But if that is your sole thing, then you're not really getting better. You're relying on it, and then you're not learning anatomy. You know what I mean? So you're not really learning to draw. You're just drawing over something. You're tracing over something.
Sure.
I don't know. Maybe it's a purist thing. But I think part of the craft is learning how to draw things. Like if I don't know how to draw a car and I just drop a 3D car in the comic, it's going to kind of be a stale 3D car, right? Like, kind of takes the soul out of the drawing, in my opinion.
I mean,
so most says, hasn't been publicly released. My theory is the CCP is trying to stop Comic Blast by holding up the release. CCP. Uh-oh. That don't sound good. Wow. The cat is on it tonight. Comicsgate. That's
Man,
awesome.
we got nobody in the chat. Do you think people are from the holidays that everyone's just tired?
I don't know. You know what? We didn't have many guests, and I'm almost thinking that because we have guests, they're probably just moving on. Hockey usually goes on, I think, at the same time as us.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. It'll be okay. I mean, you know, this is kind of a chill stream. If you want to come hang out, that's cool. I didn't advertise tonight much, so it probably just made people forget that we were on. That's okay. But tonight, we're just going to talk about stupid stuff. Food. We love food. I don't know who doesn't love food.
We just had Thanksgiving. We have Christmas coming up. And I feel like food's a big thing in fantasy as well. So I feel like it kind of just connects with everything, honestly.
Yeah, I would agree. Um, and that brings us to this picture right here. I think we'll share it.
Yeah, who'd we want to talk about first? Oh yeah, Lord of the Rings, especially the Hobbit. Man, they have a whole scene
Yeah,
around eating. Like, I mean, it's a good couple minutes. They have songs, and it is. I don't know why, but it is a big fantasy thing. Like even in type Comics Blast when I'm at
yeah.
Comics Gate, I'm tired, and so
Well,
everyone else, yeah, it's the holidays.
yeah, yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, I think you're right. The fantasy thing brings food in all the time because it goes back to like those medieval feasts. You know what I mean? And I think they show that.
Yeah.
But also because food is a good way to show um, a culture. And a lot of times in fantasy focuses on the culture and
Yep.
environment of the heroes, whereas
Hmm.
a lot of other
Yeah, sci-fi doesn't.
genres do not focus. Yeah, sci-fi does, but it's limited more to the environment than it is to what they eat every day. A lot of
Okay.
times they'll show you what they eat. They'll show you what they eat, but it's like usually very limited. It's like um, they eat some little package or they do something here or there, and it's very limited to what they do.
Okay, we're doing a
But
Duke It Out. We
fantasy
haven't
really
done that in a
spends
while.
time on it.
I,
Yeah.
I disagree. Look at sci-fi. You have how many Star Trek? We're on Indiegogo. Is the book? Well, it's
It's
not
the
for sale
book.
yet. I think she's talking about our book, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not for
yeah.
sale
The
yet,
only
right? It's
thing you
just
can
the
do right
emails.
now,
It'll
yeah.
just take you to the
The only thing you
email.
can do right now is at the top of the top of the chat. You go to the link. It'll take you to our sign up page. The book will come out or it'll
In
launch
January.
in January. After the launch, fulfillment will happen after we get everything completed, and we'll be giving updates on how that goes throughout the whole process. So
She knows this. She's just trying to get on the show. Told you she
yeah,
wants to
Mo's
be a
giving her
guest.
help. He's sharing for her, so that's cool. Thanks, Mo. Yeah, I mean, so you
Go fund
disagree.
Mo. Go fund Mo.
You
Oh, look
think
at
that
this.
sci-fi
So,
doesn't show food.
well, let's do. Okay, so Hobbit's only got 3 movies. Lord of the Rings got 3 movies, and I could talk about a bunch of different food in almost every
Yeah.
movie. Star
Oh
Trek
no, I think
has
they
how
do
many
it.
shows? Huh?
No, they do it. I'm not saying they don't do it. What I'm saying is sci-fi don't show as much. It's more limited,
Not
but
at
they will
all.
show you something. They will usually give you like a little thing. And
What
it's
special
usually
food is
very
in Star
limited.
Trek?
Food is more in Star Trek than in Star Wars.
Well, what's like
Um,
Lord of the Rings? They got that lemnis bread from the
yeah.
elves. What's a special food
Well,
in
there's
Star Wars?
Romulan ale from Star Trek.
Oh, okay.
Um,
There's
it's the
something.
blue ale they'll drink.
I didn't. I didn't know
Um,
that. So okay.
yeah, there's plenty of things. It's just that's one thing that I can always remember is Romulan ale. But
I mean,
um,
Star Wars. When I think of food, I think of Baby Yoda eating those eggs. I can't think of anything else. So.
well, that's because that's recent memory. But yeah, so when Luke was in the first movie, when we first meet Luke, he's in the hovel with his aunt and uncle, and they're eating breakfast.
I don't remember that
And
at all.
yeah, and his aunt pours the blue milk, and then he gets this bowl of it looks terrible, and he's eating this white stuff, and it looks like oatmeal, but the worst kind of oatmeal you could ever eat.
Does it look like that stuff in the
And
Matrix that they're eating?
yeah, it's very bad like that. And so
Yeah.
yeah, the Matrix does the same thing, and I would say Matrix, man, that's sci-fi, very sci-fi to me.
Oh yeah, Matrix
You
is
know,
completely sci-fi.
yeah, and Star Wars does the same thing. So.
But I mean,
Mo says she's not talking about my book. That's exclusively available on GoFundMo.
go fund Mo.
Yeah. Don't they 3D print their food on Star Trek? They might. Yeah, I think they may. I'm not sure what they do now in the shows, although
Oh,
that
that's
could be
cool. I didn't know that.
pretty easy. Yeah, I know they have things appear sometimes. They can like beam it up or whatever. And then he says they had the recipe for a bantha roast on the Star Wars Holiday Special. So yeah, that's true. They did. They did do that. Yeah, so it's kind of interesting how, yeah, a lot of fantasies focus on it, though. I mean, it really does spend more time than probably any other genre.
Yeah, when you
What's
think of Lord
funny
of the
is our
Rings,
book
they're
doesn't
eating
have
your
one feast in it.
huh?
Our book doesn't have
Your
one
book?
feast in it. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and that's another thing I regret not doing, not having a monster or that. But in the second one, where they're going, there will be a big feast because of the
Yeah.
festival that's going on. So we will have it in book 2. And I'm thinking now of just
Okay.
trying to get a monster in there now because we don't have it in our first book. So I don't know how.
We have a monster. We have a monster in the first
It's a
book.
regular animal though. It's a beast. It's not a monster. Two different
Well,
things.
yeah,
It's a
there are two
beast.
different things. You're
It's not
right.
a monster. It's not scary.
Okay.
It's a well, you know.
I have a lot of good challenges coming up in the next book. That's what's good. So
Oh
hopefully we fund
yeah.
this first one so we can get a second one going.
Yeah, I had ideas that I was just like, oh, that's too much on Derek. Now I'm just gonna go crazy with stuff. Like I'm going to try
Oh
to make it
crap,
hard for
man.
you. You
Where's
know what I
Comic
mean?
Blast? Mo, I need that
Well, it's
Comic
funny.
Blast.
It's funny. Robert Kirkman, you know how much I like him with Walking Dead and everything. So
Yeah.
as he's writing his book, he's like in Comic 100 when the show starts really kicking off, and so you know how the king has an actual tiger. You know what I mean? The king
Okay.
he's a living tiger with him. Well, he didn't write that yet in the book as the show was going on. And so he thought of like, oh, I'd have a tiger, but then he started thinking with the show and CGI, it's like, oh, I can't do that because it's going to be
Oh
more money
man.
for the show. But then he was like,
Right.
you know what? No, I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to make it hard on the show to do things. So he's like, I'm definitely putting that tiger in and I'm keeping it in for a while. Because they did. They really, I mean, you know, you can't just have a living
Yeah.
tiger walking around the set. And so that's what
Oh
happened. So that's
yeah.
going to happen too.
Definitely.
So comic 2, there's going to be stuff that doesn't even make sense. Things you've never even seen. We're
Doesn't
just going
make
to have to go.
sense.
I don't know. I'm just
We're
talking
get,
out of my
we're
butt.
going to get crazy. Well, I know book 2 does
Just to
sound
make it
more
difficult for you.
exciting. So it does sound exciting, but I mean that's the kind of thing. I mean,
Well,
the
it's like your
intro.
second act. There's more. There's going to be more
Yeah.
downtime because the first act is all
Yeah.
getting them places, introducing stuff. I mean, so the second one,
Right.
even the second one's going to be where they go, their cultures together. You're going to have cultural things in there,
Right.
like food and celebration festivities. So there's going to be more of that than
Well,
you just don't.
what's interesting about that, we're going to have several cultures in one area.
Yeah.
So we're not just going to have one culture. So that feast that you're
No.
seeing like on this, that's just one type. You may have
Yeah,
a whole
this is
different
they're
thing in
just
what we're
eating
going to
the
show.
Hobbit food. They didn't bring any dwarf food with them, so it's basically
Right.
just what the Hobbits. In the
Right.
same movie, they go to the elf's place and eat elf food too.
Yeah, that's
Remember, it's
true.
all
They
green,
do.
and they're like, I
Lamnus
don't like
bread.
green stuff.
Yeah, lamnus bread. Joseph
Hangry
says,
characters.
"Hangry characters create battle scenes." That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's true. They usually have a big drive whenever they're hungry. You know, they did that in Lord of the Rings several times.
Well, even think like in the MCU, there's not much eating stuff, but it's a big thing for Thor because he's kind of their fantasy,
Yeah.
even though they've gotten away with it because it didn't work as much because his third really
Right.
isn't
Right.
fantasy; it's more of a comedy. That's what they were
Uh huh.
going for, really. At first, it was very
Oh yeah.
Lord of the Rings ish.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think it's interesting. The Hobbit seemed to get more into the food than Lord of the Rings. Really, they did some food,
Well,
but I
they're
think it's
eating.
because
Wait a minute! Whoa, whoa, whoa! The first one, they're eating at the Hobbit place. Then they're at the farm where they're
sure.
stealing all the farmers' crops of food. They go to that inn to find Aragon. They're drink. So there's a lot actually. When they're out in the wild,
There's a
he gets a
lot,
deer.
but actually, I think you get more in the
We
Hobbit
knew Luke's
movies
life sucked
because
after
they're
drinking the
showing more of the. They're showing them more, you know, of their culture in the what are they called? The guys there with the Hobbit.
What,
They're not
Aragorn?
trolls. No, yeah. What are they? They're
Who are you talking
I
about?
can't. The guys in the picture with the Hobbit.
The
What
dwarves?
is their species?
Dwarves.
Dwarves. Thank you. Yes, the dwarves are more merry and more into the drinking, like hobbits
Yeah,
are,
yeah.
and so it meshes better. And for most of the characters, that's what's going to be shown most of the time. You know what I
I've
mean?
always thought the hobbits were more English people and the dwarves were more Irish. I don't know if that's what I've always kind of identified them as. If you're
I
gonna,
mean, kind of. It's kind of racist, Kevin, but whatever, man. It's okay.
I can be racist on my own people. That's fine.
Yeah. Hey, I'm Irish too. I don't like it. Anyway,
You're not full though,
we
so
what?
you're not full Irish. I mean,
Neither
neither am I,
are
but
you.
still. Huh? You know what's funny? My mom thought she was full Irish for a long time, and she did one of those things online, and she found out
Yeah,
she's only 75, and I was like, I thought 50% of me was full Irish, and now
yeah.
that's kind because my dad's Polish and German with Irish, so and that's it. See, my
Oh,
dad likes
nice.
Polish food. Ugh,
Yeah.
ugh.
Well, it's interesting. Yeah, I think people will find out that there are a lot of things that they thought they weren't or were or whatever. I know that I have a lot in my background. I've done some work on my background. It's kind of interesting to go through the lineage, but I don't know. None of it's that surprising from me because I'm like, if you know how the history of the world works, everybody migrates through, and
Yeah.
they kind of end up in the U.S. at the last of it all. So it makes sense that we have everything in us. Mo says eating scenes will become more common in the MCU as they begin to adapt more recent comics. Yeah, more mundane eating scenes, not fun
When they
character building scenes.
he's right in the end game where Hulk's eating those huge plates of eggs and sausages.
Yeah, yeah, which can
With
be
Ant
very
Man, the
fun
kid.
and cool, but yeah, I think he's right. In recent comics, when you see people eating, it's like, gosh, what are they doing? You know what I mean? There's no good dialogue. There's no good interaction. It's just to fill time.
It's funny now that you're talking about that with acting. This just popped in my head, but do you know the movie Signs before they get the house ready for the aliens? They're eating a last dinner where Mel Gibson makes
Yeah.
your favorite food. Um,
24 hours. Hey, what's up?
the director said that that's one of the hardest scenes to act is eat and still act because
Oh yeah.
Mel's yelling at all the kids and stuff because they want to pray to God and he doesn't believe in God anymore because his wife is dead. So he's
Right.
eating all their food. So Mel, as an actor, has tons of food in his mouth, but he still has to act angry and then sad. And the director was saying, like, that's how good of an actor he is. Like, you have no idea how hard it is to physically eat and then have something real like
Yeah.
that and then try to fake something. And he was like,
Right.
that was just as good as an actor he is when
That's
you can
fun.
act with food.
Yeah, I love that movie. I really like Signs. Thought it was really one of Shyamalama Ding Dong's best movies.
That's racist.
That's not that's not racist. I just can't pronounce his name well, so I just go Shyamalama Ding Dong because I think it's funny to say.
His early
I bet.
stuff was great. Sixth Sense, Village, Signs, and then
Oh yeah.
Unbreakable, and then
His later stuff.
he lost
His,
it. I don't know.
yeah.
It's weird. I liked
Yeah. It
Split though.
happens.
I thought Split was good.
So I don't know.
You
Split
didn't
was
like
okay
Split?
for me. Yeah, it was okay, but then to tie it in, I thought it was going to be pretty cool, and then
Oh yeah, I
it
did
was
too. That
such a
was a
letdown.
letdown. Yeah, very
Mr.
letdown.
Glass was such a letdown, so I was done after that.
I think it was Mo that put in about maybe it wasn't Mo about Luke Skywalker and the new ones drinking that cow's milk
That
that
was
was blue and
AMC.
stuff.
Yeah,
Oh, that was terrible. Yeah,
yeah,
terrible
that was
scene.
one of the worst scenes ever. One of my greatest heroes in my childhood, and I'm watching him drink this milk and just make me want to puke, you know? And it just made me so angry. I about got up and walked out. I went ahead and stayed because I paid money. I don't normally walk out of movies, but damn, I really wanted to on that one. Unbreakable was a great premise and started well, but it was not good toward the end. Hail Dojo. Yeah, I think you're right. It was totally true. Unbreakable just got I loved Unbreakable, but
Wait, is he talking about Unbreakable
I
or is he
don't
talking
think
about
he knew
Glass?
where to go. What's that? What's that?
Oh, does he mean the whole trilogy? Or does he just mean the
Well,
Unbreakable movie in itself?
for me, it's the trilogy. If he means the movie, I loved the movie Unbreakable. But
Yeah,
yeah, I think it's really hard to go past that. I think it was a one and done movie. I do believe that. But it was such a well done movie. Let it go. You know what I mean? Enjoyed the premise and ending of Unbreakable, but I felt the movie lagged. I think you're right about that too, Mo.
it's been such a long time since I've seen it, honestly. I
Ha!
see
My
dead
wife's here. I see dead people.
You do something
Yeah.
bad? Is she gonna kill you? Is that what she
See, she
means?
does know some pop culture. There you go.
Yeah.
Crazy Mad's here. Hail, Crazy Mad. Thanks for stopping in. Mo says hi to Casey. Yeah, so guys, if you're joining in right now, we've been talking about food and scenes and even in comics and things and world building, and that's kind of what we're doing. We're we don't have a lot of food yet in our story, but it
But there
will
will
be
be.
coming as part of the story, just because our story is kind of built around different cultures. And of course, one of the best ways to show in world building different cultures is to bring up what they eat and how they do some of their rituals. And howdy. And, to me, I can't wait till we can dive into some of that because we really only, we don't even get into the surface very much of how many cultures there are and what there is going on close to our heroes. Um, that'll be in the very next book. So it's funny, we have a lot ramping up for the next book. So,
And you
but
know what's interesting? It's not just fantasy movies, but even when you think of like fantasy games, like
uh-huh.
Zelda, those games always have a big thing with food where you even craft food and do different things to either
Yeah.
sell it or eat it for energy. So I think that
Uh-huh.
stuff we'll use in our book too, where there'll be different things
Yeah.
that will help.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, the
Dojo
shawarma
says,
scene.
yeah, that was a great scene. It was inside. It was silent, but it was still somehow, or it still somehow said so much, and I agree with that. It did show them being still human in a lot of ways, which was great. Brought them back down to size.
Well, and
You
I think
can't
it really
replicate
showed
that
that they
though.
had victory.
That's right.
When you can go and just eat, it's like, okay, everything's good, everything's
Yeah,
fine.
they earned that food. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I agree. You can't replicate that. That's not something you can keep showing, but it was something that really made an impact on everybody. I still remember that scene. I think everybody remembers that scene. Ah,
Ninja
Ninja
Turtles,
Turtles had a
yeah.
good pizza scene. I don't know. Yeah, I would say most of their movies they try to show them eating pizza every time, right? Like
Oh
that's the
yeah,
shtick.
probably multiple
So
times. Yeah, when he
yeah,
cuts it and it falls on Splinter's face and all the
right,
cheese is on his head. Yeah, it's great.
right. All
So
right,
Lord of the
let's.
Rings isn't the only movie. We have another movie to talk about with food, right?
Well, no, I was going to talk about
Oh,
something else. I was going to talk
okay.
about
I need to
some
spread
real
my
life
legs.
stuff. I was going to talk about real life stuff. I was going to go into some stuff that we've encountered in real life.
Okay.
Let me get to it.
We're going to talk about your culture from Kentucky, where you drink alcohol till you're literally blind.
Well, that's just being a hillbilly, man. No, my um, yeah, my grandfather would do. He would go on binges, man. Like he would go up in the hills. He would say, "I'll be back. Don't bother me," and he would be like gone for a week, and that was
That
his
is
drinking binge.
nuts,
Yeah, that's what he did, man. Them old hillbillies did all kinds of crazy stuff. But
man.
this is some Indian cuisine we're showing right now, and the reason I'm bringing that up is because I know you guys met Donovan, my bass player, in the Ugly Tongue show that we had, and I had my first real taste of good Indian food. I had eaten Indian food before, but this gave me a wider spectrum of what that was.
Come
And I
here.
don't know about you guys, but I love to try different cultures, different food from different cultures.
Oh yeah.
I don't like everything, and I have to be careful because I'm not a seafood guy, and
No.
certain textures do get to me. So I gotta watch that stuff. But their food was beautiful for one thing, and that to me is a big deal. It's got to look good. Yeah, 24 Eyes says, man, that layout looks delicious, and
Yeah, it
I
does.
agree, man. It does look good, and I just ate too. But yeah, Donovan, when he got married, because he married a woman from India, and he was an American, he had to go through in their wedding. He did their Indian ritual wedding, which was very interesting, and I had never seen before, and I thought it was really cool. It was one of the neatest things, and it was very different, and it kind of made me go, whoa, what are they doing sometimes? But they had a lot of food in the wedding, and they were throwing food at their feet, and they were making them like walk around it and say prayers around it and do all these weird things. But the food was definitely incorporated, and it had a lot to do with like, being rich in just being prosperous, I guess you could say. And it was amazing. And then we got to eat all this good food that was catered in by these. They had friends who had a restaurant, an Indian restaurant, and it was fantastic. I'm going to tell you. Two moments that really stuck with me. First Ninja Turtles movie was how Leo sounded. Soy Leo sounded. I'm sorry, when he told April to restock her pizza. And later when he was sounding sad, saying Splinter.
Yeah, so when they leave, I know exactly what he's talking about. When they leave her apartment,
Okay.
she goes, "Will you guys come back?" And Leonardo goes, "That depends on how quick you restock your pizza." They go home and their house is trashed and Splinter's gone. They go back there, and when she opens the door, their all heads are down and crying, and he just says like Splinter. That's the only thing he says.
Okay. Yeah, he says both times sound almost like a baby talk for some reason. Not sure what the dude was going for with that delivery or why the director didn't go for another take. Those movies weren't made that great, man. I doubt they were even like
whoa
doing that well.
The first one still holds up. You need to chill on that.
It might hold up, but you can still you got to admit that it wasn't.
I mean, they were great kids
movie.
movies. I mean,
oh sure, I'll give you that.
Any kids movie you look back on,
it had a lasting impression on a lot of people, so I can't take too much from it.
Yeah, you were just too old at the time.
I kind of was. I mean, really, yeah, I was a little bit too old for it. Not that I didn't like it. I mean, I still watched the movie and I enjoy the Turtles, so I still like the TMNT. Indian food done well is so good, and I would agree. We were invited to an Indian family's home for a dinner party and had such a great time and great food. Yeah, man, and I would agree that I've had great Indian food, but then I've had Indian food that went right through me, and I I could not handle it. Now, part of that I think was the spices and what they do to that food is very strong, and if you're not ready for it, man, it will rip you apart. Crazy Mad says, I'm at work for 3 more hours. Can we not talk about food? Crazy Mad, that's like our whole stream tonight, man.
Yeah, I know.
So we're sorry about that, but we hope you hang. Yeah, Dojo Kun Comics says, too much cumin. Are you talking cumin or cumin? Yeah. So anyway, this is just something I wanted to bring up because I got that experience. I thought it was really cool. And another thing that I wanted to show was some Southern food, because for me, I grew up with a grandmother from the South, and man, could she cook. Crazy Mad said he'll push through. That's the way to be, Crazy Mad. That's the way to be.
So, I feel like this is spicier than even Indian.
Well, when you're talking Creole, definitely. I'm not sure about gula. I don't know if I've ever heard of gula. Cajun food, definitely. I know the Caribbean can be spicy sometimes. So Casey says, Thor having pancakes and coffee in the diner. That's true. She remembers that. Look at that. She's getting all kinds of...
He slams it. slams it
stuff.
down and
Yeah.
goes, I want to give me another. You're like, what are you
Yeah, it's
doing?
great. That's fun. But yeah, man, I grew up with a Southern cooking grandma, and my mother learned that stuff. And sheesh, man, they could cook their butts off. And um, you know, there were staples in that, so we got a lot of the same kind of food. A lot of mashed potatoes. Holy crap, man! So many mashed potatoes growing up. Um, it's weird how many potatoes we actually ate. Like it had to be almost for every meal, and
It's a big
but it
American
was
thing.
yummy. Yeah, it
Potatoes.
is. It is. But I do love Southern cooking, and I love it way better than Ohio cooking, which my mom always used to say. She called it Buckeye cooking, and it says down home Midwest home cooked meal every day. Well, Midwest is pretty good, but I wouldn't say it's as good as the South. That's just where I'm at.
Well, what part of the South, though? You talking about
Yeah, and
Midwest
it
South?
depends. Yeah, it depends on how low you're
Texas
going
South?
there, Crazy Mad.
You talking about Texas South, where it's all barbecue?
And I'm going to point this out before I put her thing up, because she's trying to call me out. But I wasn't even this far yet in the show. I do have a wife that can cook. And yes, she's very good too. She has learned a lot, even just since we've been married, and has done a great job. And she pulls crap out of nothing and can make it excellent. And, she surprises us a lot, but it's really good and makes me a fat boy. So what can I
can
say?
vouch for this. I've had a lot of her cooking. Very good.
Yeah, she's good. She's a good cook. And with my grandmother, used to cook with a lot of lard. Did you ever have a family member do that?
Mm-mm.
You remember they actually had a lard bucket.
Oh God.
Oh yeah, she
I
had a
don't think I
lard
could
bucket.
eat that. Oh, Derek, that's just wrong.
Dude, that's what they did, man. That's the way they
Oh
did it.
God.
And I'm telling you, it is the best fried chicken you'll ever eat. No joke.
Anything big like that.
I'm telling you.
You know
Yeah,
what?
I'm a biscuits and gravy and fried chicken kind of guy, but I like good barbecue. Yeah, me too, man. Me too. I love good
Biscuits
barbecue.
and gravy is a big thing here in Ohio. I never had it till I got
It
here.
is.
I'm not a gravy person. Any type of gravy.
Oh, okay. You know what? Growing up, I was never a gravy person. I like the white gravy better than brown gravies.
That just looks weird.
Usually, like sausage gravies, I like, but I'm not a big fan of any other gravy that much. I struggle with gravy. My wife makes some pretty good gravies too. Gula is the only thing that I'm not familiar with. And yeah, that's what I was saying, 24 Eyes. I don't know what gula is. If anybody knows,
when
let
I
us know
first
what
looked at it, I
is.
thought it might have been like some pulled or shredded chicken or pork.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Is it some type of fish? Eggs?
Yeah, so lard is actually healthy for you and a survival food. I mean,
just
dude,
looks
so many
gross,
people.
It looks
Yeah,
gross.
it does.
It's
But man, so many people cooked good with it, man. It made things taste so good. I drown everything in gravy. Yeah, I'm not a big gravy fan. I like some though. African vibe? It could, man. It very well could. With soul food, Creole, and even Cajun, you've got some African influence there. Well, there's African influence in all this, really. But
you don't like fish? Did you
it.
like the fish from this region, or no? Would you still not eat it? Like
you know what, man? I am not a fish guy.
Neither am I. I like shrimp. I can eat shrimp whenever.
Well, let me take that back. Let me take that back. I'm more fish than anything else out of the sea, okay? But I'm not a seafood guy at all. Let me put it that way.
What else is out of the sea other than fish?
Well, that's what I said. I can eat fish, but I don't like much else. But I'm not big on fish either, so I'd rather just not do seafood.
To me, lobster tastes like nothing. I don't understand why people like lobster or clams. Clams are disgusting.
Yeah, they are. I think so too.
So shrimp is great. Shrimp and salmon are I like, and tuna. Those three things are good.
So I'm going to read this from 24 Eyes, and then Mo's getting me cracking up. People should probably cook with more lard and less cooking oils. He might have a point there. And Mo says, I like white gravy better than brown gravy. Careful, you're moving into Bancroft territory there. Yeah, we won't go there, Mo. We're
Just
gonna keep
for-
that one out. We're gonna keep that one out. Lard. Wow,
It's like
that sounds
uncooked chicken.
disgusting when you say that.
Uncooked chicken looks disgusting too. I hate cooking chicken. It just ugh.
Yeah,
Till it's
cooking
cooked, it
chicken's
looks
tough,
gross.
man. But it comes out so good though. I make country gravy in bacon dripping. Oh yeah, man. Yes, bacon drippings. Yum. That's
So
like the
Derek,
best
this
gravy.
picture you have, you know what everything is there? You know what's in them?
No, I don't know what gula is. I was bringing it up because it's just like a lot of different Southern cooking, and I thought, that's a good variety of food.
So what's in the is Creole shrimp and sausage? Is that what that is?
It's a style of like it's very close to the Cajun style.
Spicy?
Yeah. But it's slightly different. And I think it
What's the
might even be regional. What's that?
I really haven't had any of this. So what's in the Cajun? Is that just rice and spices?
Well, in that, but there's more than just, Cajun is the whole type of cooking though. It's not just one thing. You know
Okay.
that, right? Yeah.
No.
So a lot of it's cultural. I mean, it comes from the different cultures, but Creole and Cajun are very closely related. A lot of French influence, Caribbean influence, things like that. Isn't Gula from the mystical Gula Gula Island? That's a good question there, Mo.
Google it. Google
Yeah.
Gula.
Google Gula.
So
So anyway, we're talking about all this Southern food, and my mom used to say Buckeyes were, which are Ohio people. She would make fun of them in their cooking because she used to say
Gula.
they couldn't cook well. And if you know anything about Buckeyes, we have, and I don't mean the candy, the Buckeye peanut butter and chocolate Buckeyes.
Ooh, those
I'm
things
talking
are
about
good.
people who cook in Ohio. Usually the Southern people make fun of their cooking a little bit. But I think it's
looked up
because a
what
lot of
Gula means.
times, what's that?
I looked up what Gula means.
Yeah, so what Casey did, she said, Gula's fusion of West and Central African techniques seems to contain seafood. Okay, interesting.
Well, that's not what the dictionary says.
Really, what do you got?
So it says Gula is a member of the black people living on the coast of South Carolina and nearby islands. The Creole language of the Gula, having an English base with elements from various West African languages. It has about 125,000 speakers.
Oh, wow. Amazing. Okay. Learning a lot just about our country. That's pretty cool. So 24 Eyes says, I'm from Dayton and I cook great. Well, it doesn't mean you're a bad cook. It just means my mom always thought most people in Ohio couldn't cook because every time she would eat, if you eat chili in Ohio, a lot of times they put sugar in their chili.
Or jelly.
Yeah, jelly in the chili. I think
Yeah.
that's so weird to me. And
It's interesting. It's definitely different.
It is. It is interesting. So there's only one way to settle this. Let's all go to Gula Gula Island. I would love to go to an island, Mo.
Okay. CG field trip. Piqua, yeah.
Piqua, yeah. North of Dayton and Piqua, and I also cook great. Awesome.
There's so many Ohio people in CG. It's nuts.
There is, man. There is.
We need to have
interesting.
Ohio conference.
We do.
Beans.
Ohio CG conference. That'd be cool.
He just has beans.
Yeah, beans. Well, you got to have beans in your chili, man. We were talking about chili, but sugar in the chili, jelly in the chili, it's very weird. Also, if you guys know anything about Southern cornbread versus, like a sweet cornbread, a lot of people in Ohio, they'll have like a sweet cornbread, most of the time out of a Jiffy Mix box, which I love Jiffy Mix, don't get me wrong, but, there's like the real Southern cornbread, and then there's the sweet cornbread. And, my family just didn't like all that. So, once again, differences in culture. Okay,
well,
look at this.
Ohio sucks for pizza. I can't wait till we go to Scranton for pizza, Derek. Your mind will be blasted with how good Italian cooks are there. To me, Italian is by far the best of any culture's food. The Italians are amazing.
That's interesting because I really want to try that. And, I like some pizza around here, but there are a lot of pizzas around here that are cheap and just not good. They're not well done. You can tell.
What's
So
Gem
Gym
City?
City Comic-Con meetup.
Where's that?
I think Gym City is in Dayton, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
It's a Dayton Comic-Con. Yep. And then Texans hate beans and chili. I've heard that too because it's kind of like a Tex-Mex, but even Tex-Mex can be twisted. So
Come here.
I'm guessing jelly and chili is a conspiracy from the creators of pineapple pizza. Well, Mo, you're gonna hate me, man. I love pineapple on my pizza. I love it. I do.
That's the thing. Ohioans don't eat plain pizza. They always have to have 1,000 things on it.
Yeah, that's because
you don't need to
that's
put
what makes it
anything
good.
on it.
Yeah, see, that to me is weird. And Crazy Mad says, I love Italian. Yep.
Yeah. I don't think I've never heard someone not like Italian food. Have you? I've never met anybody like, oh, no, I don't like Italian.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure there are people out there, but not many.
Where? What is a good pizza chain in Ohio?
So 24 Eyes is saying you're insane. Ohio has some of the best pizza. In fact, it has pizza chains in other states that other states don't have. So
yeah, but none of their chains here are
sure.
good. Even if they have them here. Donato's is not good pizza.
I think you might like it for your taste or whatever, but in the scheme of pizza, that's where you got to go. Okay,
it's funny.
You're
insane? 24 Eyes that has the best pizza.
So when we meet up at the Comic-Con, you guys are going to have like a pizza show off or something. There are tons of Sicilians that live in Ohio that make real Italian food.
Because Columbus, I've tried a bunch of their pizza here, and it sucks.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something up in their Sicilian.
Could be.
Where?
Cleveland has a lot of Italian people.
Huh?
Cleveland has a lot of Italians.
Really?
Yeah. But he says Dayton.
I mean, I've only been to Dayton once, and that was for training. So.
Oh, this is interesting. My wife says people
which I like.
They put meatballs in grape jelly.
Good. Yeah, I like it.
It is, but I think it makes it too sweet. I got to be honest, it's too sweet.
I like it. No, I think it is better with grape jelly. Meatballs. Yeah, I do. I
think it's kind of weird, to be honest. I don't like it.
I mean, it's weird the first time you try it, but I feel like it works really well.
I don't think it does. I think it masks everything with the meatball. So you're just getting a sweet meat, which sometimes sweet meats can be weird.
Maybe.
Depends on, it's opinion. It's okay. Youngstown was the middle point between Chicago and New York for the mob. That's true. And so was, there's another place south of Youngstown. Can't think of it right now, but it was also a middle point for the mob. Lots of mobsters through there, that's for sure. Doing their running during
PA,
Prohibition.
Northeast PA, we had a lot of mobsters there.
Yeah. Well, Youngstown, not just Youngstown, but south of that too. It was during Prohibition, so that was where they would run all the alcohol. Pineapple on pizza is a travesty.
Yep,
I can't agree with you, Crazy.
I
usually agree with you, man. I thought we had a lot in common. I guess
there's wisdom
you really don't.
There's wisdom there. Yeah. See,
oh gosh, no, Mo.
Your tastes don't make sense.
No.
These people.
No, it's not okay. No, that's not true. Just can't do it. I can't give jelly chili. Hell no. Shouldn't happen. Marian's Donato's Pizza King. Marian's Donato's Pizza King.
I don't like Donato's.
Yeah. I like it, but I don't think it's like one of the best pizzas I've ever had. You know what I mean? I'll eat Domino's. I know Domino's isn't a great pizza, but I like it. You know what I mean?
I haven't had it.
You kind of settle for Domino's. You don't go after Domino's thinking, man, I can't wait to have that Domino's. You're usually like, okay, I'm settling for Domino's.
I haven't had Domino's in probably like 20 years, honestly.
Yeah.
Or did I eat Domino's at your house? Did we get pizza?
Probably. Probably, man. We go cheap. That's the only reason we eat Domino's.
I don't remember it, though, so that's weird.
Yeah. My grandmother Immigrated from Sicily after
Yeah.
World War II. Okay, yeah. So you get it directly, man. That's awesome. Hopefully she cooked you some good food too. Made you some good sauces. I would love that. Love to know how to make a really great like spaghetti sauce and just any sauce for pasta.
Yeah, pasta sauce. There's so many different recipes.
Yeah.
That's why with pizza too. You can get a sweet sauce with pizza, which makes it very different than like your regular.
My paisans. Yeah, so he says my mom's side's a Sicilian. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
It's interesting.
yeah, they're great cooks.
Oh man, I
Great
know.
cooks.
Love it. It's a little known fact that not everyone involved in the mafia was an excellent pizza chef. Yeah, they probably were. Meat lovers is the correct answer. Oh, meat lovers pizza. Hmm. Dojo says Buddy's Pizza in the Detroit area is the bomb. Detroit. I've had some pretty good food in Detroit, man. I got to be honest.
When have you been
I've
in
enjoyed
Detroit?
eating up there. I've been up there several times. We had some friends up there that we'd go visit, and we would go up for like a weekend, and we ate a bunch of different places. One of my favorite things that we did was we ate in Dearborn, and so we had all the Middle Eastern food, you know. And up there, they call them like family bakeries. You wouldn't even know it was a restaurant, but you go up there, and it's a bakery, but it's also they're selling their cuisine, and you can just pick their cuisine out of like they have like cases of food, you know. It's like a deli, and we did it, and we ate in the store in the front. They had like a window table and everything. It was pretty cool, and man, the place Dearborn is so dirty, but they have good food. On the streets, it's just terribly dirty. It was gross up there. And Detroit is
Like there's
scary as hell
garbage all over the
sometimes.
place.
Oh yeah, it was like a third world country when you hit Dearborn.
Oh man,
But their food is awesome. So if you ever go there, go to one of the family bakeries, and there's all
take a
kinds of
gun,
family bakeries up there.
take a gun, and go to one of the family bakeries.
No, no, I don't know if you need that, but I mean Detroit can be weird, so you don't want to go certain places in Detroit. That's for sure. Domino's are
Yeah.
better than they were 20 years ago, but I wouldn't call it good pizza. I agree with you, Mo.
When Little Caesars first came out, it was really good. Little
Yeah.
Caesars changed everything that theirs was.
You know, Little Caesars in Detroit, that's kind of big up there, and they all like tout it as this great thing, but man, when it got to Ohio, it was terrible. So we always hated it here. It's probably the cheapest of the cheap pizza here. So
Yeah,
like when you want to take your kids swimming and you want a cheap pizza, that's what you do. You go get Little Caesars. Cinnamon and chili, gag. I agree with you. Cinnamon and chili is terrible, and they do that around here all the time. I don't get it.
You missed someone else's who had a thing before. They were talking
Yeah,
stromboli.
yeah.
Stromboli's
My great aunt would make awesome stromboli and really great meatballs. They were
Oh my
that are the
gosh,
size of a softball.
that's a huge meatball.
Wow, yeah, man, that's awesome. I love meatballs like
Can you
that.
even pick that up with a
Usually when I
fork?
go to I love meatballs, so I'll order meatballs like that when we go to Italian restaurants. I
Meatball
love it.
sub?
Yeah. Oh wow, my office is in Dearborn, the largest concentration of Middle Easterners outside of the Middle East. Yeah. So
Wow.
Dojo, that's exactly what I was saying. I mean, it is like you're entering a third world country because it feels like you're in a different country. The billboards change to, you know, I don't even know what language it would be. It would probably be, I know a lot of people from Iraq ended up over there. So you know, you'll see things in that language constantly, and it's really interesting. I liked it just for the cultural thing, but the food was excellent. The food was excellent.
Why is there so many Middle Easterns here? Yeah, no, Alfredo's pizza is
because
ridiculous.
a lot of them left whenever Saddam Hussein, you know, in his reign of terror, a lot of them left during that time.
Well, why'd they go there? out of anywhere? What was
It
was it a
was.
sovereign city or something? Or
I don't know if it was a sovereign city, but it was definitely like a lot of industry up there. So I think they could find work. They could, big city for one thing. But
my dad's right with Alfredo's pizza. Nothing tops that.
oh yeah,
Greatest pizza ever.
okay. Well, we're
Yeah.
gonna have to get
Doesn't
that.
even
That's what
like
we're
it.
gonna have to do when we go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So in Detroit, stay away from the Cass corridor. You'll never be seen again. I agree. I mean, I could understand why. I mean, we went down. We went, of course, driving down by 8 Mile and all that stuff. But all the roads are named like 6 Mile, 7 Mile, 8 Mile, 9 Mile. So there's nothing special. It's just that he kind of made it famous on the Eminem kind of made it famous.
With
But
the
yeah,
logo.
I've never been to the Cass corridor, by the Cass corridor, never heard of it. So luckily, maybe that's why I'm still here. Gold Star and Skyline are some of the things that I miss from Ohio. Nowhere else really does cheese conies. Oh
Skyline's
yeah, I
hard
do
to-
like a cheese coney dog.
Yeah.
But I hate cinnamon and chili, and that's what Skyline does.
Well, you can
And I
ask for
think
it
it's
without.
friggin' weird. What's that?
You can ask for because Brent took me to a Skyline to do that. And yeah, I thought that was eating spaghetti with cinnamon. It was just weird.
Yep,
It's not right.
it was weird.
It's
And
like the
that's
elf movie
Cincinnati
eating
chili.
spaghetti.
Yeah, they call that Cincinnati, Cincinnati chili. Oh, okay, there it is. Sanskrit. Thank you, Dojo. I knew the language on the billboards. It's Sanskrit. I was trying to think of the name and I didn't want to mess it up. So thank you for that. But it definitely flips over. And when you go through Dearborn, you're just like, am I somewhere else? Because I don't feel like I'm in America anymore. It feels weird.
Do people look at you weird? Was it
They
that
can. They
culturally
can.
different?
Yeah, but I mean, they get a lot of people. I mean, they have tourism over there because the Henry Ford Museum's up in that area too.
Yeah.
And so they get a lot of tourism. And then there's chips that I miss.
I don't know what those are. Do you?
Grippos and Mike Sells. Yeah, Mike Sells. They sell those all over Ohio. But
never had
Grippos, I'm not sure.
Do you like Mike Sells?
They're okay. They're not great. Casey's calling me a meatball. She's right.
Meatball. Yera.
Yes, they came to Dearborn to be proximate to the job. So that's why I said there's industry up there.
Not as much
anymore. Right.
Mm.
But at the time they came, there was. Yeah, Mike Sells.
Mike Sells.
8 miles the northern border of Detroit. Eminem was talking about the demarcation between the city and the suburbs. Yes. And those areas, we definitely didn't go down where he was, but you'll definitely see, as you drive around Detroit, you'll see all those areas being marked off. But yeah, we never went down. That's more ghetto. Tried to stay away from that area. For sure. I was more on Westland because you have to say Westland. You're not allowed to say Westland. So in Ohio, we say Westland and they make fun of us. So it's Westland. Yeah, it's interesting.
Our tagline for YouTube should be, we're not the best YouTube or the funniest, but you'll learn something when you come here.
That's exactly right. We are. I mean,
yeah.
But that's the whole point of my stream tonight. I mean, I think that's the thing is culture, right? So we're learning culture. Yeah. We're learning about each other too. It's really cool. And I like to discuss this stuff. So, and who don't like food?
Peanut butter and chili?
I know.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Okay. No, I like all this stuff with my chili. I like a peanut butter sandwich while I'm eating my chili.
I like crackers and peanut butter, but I've never had
cornbread is good in chili too. And corn goes in chili. Corn can go with chili. So to me, the flavors go right hand in hand.
But peanut butter?
Yeah, peanut butter's pretty good, man. You ought to try it. Grippos are from Cincinnati. There you go. I didn't know that. Never heard of peanut butter and chili. Derek should mix some in his jelly chili. Yeah, thanks, Mo. I don't think so, man. We would never make jelly chili in the Clay household.
Hey, we're live. Do you have some chili in your house and peanut butter? Let's see it, Derek.
I don't.
I have peanut butter, but I don't have chili.
Oh, you can order the Grippos on Amazon? That's interesting. Cool.
Really?
Eminem was from South Warren, just as bad as Detroit.
Oh, I thought he was from Detroit. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm not sure about all that. I'm not real
Kid Rock's
familiar
from
with all the
Detroit,
other
right?
suburbs.
Isn't Kid Rock from Detroit too? I thought they were both from Detroit.
Yeah. Yeah, he's around that area, I think.
But I guess
And
you're going to
Crackers is
say
the
that,
correct answer. What?
yeah, Crackers is the.
It's not PB in the chili, it's PB sandwich with the chili. That's exactly right. You're having a PB sandwich on the side. It's like grilled cheese and tomato soup. Okay?
Okay, I get
That's
that.
what it's like. It's like a PB&J and a chili and a grilled cheese and tomato. It's the same kind of thing. You're just having or not PB&J, you're having peanut butter. Not the jelly, Mo. Not the jelly. I'll repeat. Not the jelly. Crackers are second only to Fritos to go on chili. Cornbread's okay. I do like Fritos in my chili, man. Once again, it's corn. Fritos are corn, so therefore the corn flavor goes well with chili. So that's what I mean.
Dude, it's probably been 10 to 20 years that I've had Fritos. I haven't had Fritos in a long time.
Oh, yeah, I love Fritos. You know what? I like the chili Fritos. The chili flavored Fritos. Those are excellent. So I would say if you want to get some, Kevin, try those because they're fantastic. Kid Rock was from an affluent suburb called Rochester Hills. He's the son of an auto dealership owner, not street at all.
Wow.
Yeah, he's born into money. That's funny. That's funny.
You think
he knew how to market himself, though. You know what I mean? He knew how to market himself. He knew how to get redneck. That's for sure. Redneck up in Detroit. That just don't make sense.
Yeah, didn't think clearly through it. Just believed whatever I was told.
Oh, dude. Nobody cared. I mean, he made the money. So, and then he switched genres and everything, and it worked for him either way. So, all right.
Well, they say he can play any musical instrument, that he's that talented.
I've never seen him play, but I like some of his stuff. I don't hate his music. He's not one of my favorite artists or anything, but
no,
whatever. Here's a question for you all, my friends, to argue about. Is a hot dog considered a sandwich? Ooh, no. Gosh, that's so big on there.
It's not a sandwich. It's a hot dog. It's not a sandwich.
I don't know, man. Yeah, there you go. Oh, look at that. Little PB cracker sandwiches. Remember? Yeah, putting peanut butter on crackers.
PB cracker, yeah.
Yeah, man, that's so good.
My dad would always eat that. Yeah,
great. Look at that.
No, but there's no way a hot dog's a sandwich. It's not even debatable. There's no argument about it. It's a hot dog. It's not a sandwich.
No, dude, because it's on a bun.
That's like saying, is a taco a sandwich?
No, but that's not a bun.
It's the same thing.
No, it's not.
It's a hot dog bun, not a bun.
Yeah, but a bun, meat goes in a bun. Meat goes between buns.
No.
And you have a top and a bottom to the bun.
Meat goes between bread. Meat goes between bread, not
that's
bread.
But a bun is bread.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
What kind of buns are you eating, Kevin? So Mo Big says it's sandwich adjacent. He might be right on to that.
Then a taco sandwich adjacent then too.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know you paid all the layaways for everybody at Christmas at Walmart. That's cool. I wish I had money to do that for people. That'd be great. Crazy Mad. Murph is correct. I think it's a sandwich, dude. It's between two pieces of bread.
Okay, wait.
And it's meat.
Did your mom ever say, "Do you want a sandwich?" You say, "Yeah," and then she brings a hot dog. Never. No one has that story.
I don't know. It could be. I mean, my mom, if we didn't have buns, she would take two white breads, two pieces of white bread, and smack a hot dog in the middle of it, and then make it all soggy with the mustard and ketchup. So
then that's a sandwich. But that's not a hot dog. That's not a hot dog, though. That's a sandwich with a hot dog in it.
Dude, it's a sandwich. It's between bread. A taco's a taco because it's in a corn tortilla. That's different.
No.
Yeah.
They have flour tortillas, which is bread.
Ooh, lowers his beer prices at concerts. I
Pizza's
think it's a
bread, is
sandwich.
that a sandwich?
No, but you could technically make a pizza sandwich. You know, they have pizza subs. They have all kinds of things like that. So
Okay, but pizza in itself is not a sandwich, just like hot dog in itself is not a
yeah,
sandwich.
Crazy Mad says on menus, hot dogs are never under the sandwich part. That's a good, it's a good point, but I don't agree with it. Nor is a hamburger a sandwich.
Yes, this is correct.
Ooh.
This is correct.
Oh, it's
That's why
getting
they're called
serious
burgers.
now.
They're
It's
not
getting serious.
sandwiches. We are
Why is a
serious.
hamburger not a sandwich? Because it's between two buns as well.
Buns and bread are different. You're learning something today, Derek. You're
Wait,
learning
buns
something.
and bread are different.
Yes.
I don't think so.
They're not the same thing, or they wouldn't have different names.
So if you take a hamburger and put it between two pieces of bread and you toast that bread, it's not going to get soggy. It's going to be a good burger. You're just doing it on bread instead of a bun, but it's still
then
bread.
That's a burger sandwich.
It's still bread. Bread is bread.
No, that's not true. Look how many different types of bread are out there in different
Meat
cultures.
goes between buns. You've got a top and a bottom. What the hell am I watching? I know, Mo. I don't even understand it sometimes. That's got to be one of the top comments. It's got to be. The stream's taking an interesting turn, Mo Biggs. Yeah, I would say. And Casey says a taco is a sandwich.
No.
This is interesting to me.
This is terrible.
I can't agree that a taco is a sandwich. It's just not.
It's clearly not.
And Dojo says they are not sandwiches.
See, this is the whole thing where the left is trying to change words. That's what you're trying to do here with the sandwich and the hot dog. Trying to take things away.
You're going to make this political now. I love it. Food is political now.
There's not he or her. There's it and they. And no, it's a hot dog's not a sandwich. Let's stop.
Casey says a Hot Pocket is a sandwich. That's gross. I hate Hot Pockets. I think they're disgusting.
Is a sandwich?
That's
no,
disgusting.
A Hot Pocket's a Hot Pocket, just like Stromboli isn't a sandwich either.
Yeah.
They're its own thing.
I guess. And says, see why my friends argue about this. Yes, I do. You can argue forever. Bread as hamburger buns sucks.
Yes.
It's true and is the ultimate last resort before ramen. I think you're right, Mo. And I've had to do that a lot in my life. I've had to go to my other grandma. So I had one grandma that's a Southern cook, and I have another grandma on my dad's side. She was not a great cook. I loved her to death, but she was not a great cook. When I went to her house, she would fry us hamburgers. They were always really greasy, and then she would throw it on bread and never toast the bread. And it would always turn into a soggy meat sandwich.
Yeah,
it was so terrible.
That is gross.
I will say it's a fond memory of my grandmother, though. even though it was terrible to get through. Pop-Tart's a sandwich. Woo!
No, it's a Pop-Tart.
Interesting. I don't think so. I think that's different.
Pop-Tart. Stop trying to make everything into a sandwich.
Casey.
This isn't difficult.
Yes. I think you're right. Casey says, yup, anything with a top, a bottom, and something sandwiched in between is a sandwich. Wow.
No.
I would almost agree with her on that. I would almost agree with that.
That's terrible. So wait a minute. Is two crackers with peanut butter a sandwich? You're gonna call that a sandwich?
Wait, say that again. Crackers. Yeah, that's a sandwich.
Peanut butter is a sandwich? No, it's not. It's crackers with peanut
butter. Cracker
butter.
sandwich. It's a cracker sandwich.
Oh,
if we didn't have hot dog buns, we'd just take one piece of bread and fold it in half, and we didn't make sandwiches out of our hot dogs.
Exactly. Because we don't want hot dog sandwiches.
But if you only have one piece of bread, you're going to throw that hot dog in that piece of bread and eat it. I guarantee.
Not always. You can always eat the hot dog.
If that's all you got, man. If that's all you got.
Got a fork and a hot dog. Eat it that way.
Ooh, I ain't going to eat a hot dog without bread.
It's a sandwich. There, that's awesome.
That is funny, man.
Bottom and something in the middle. Yeah.
Oh, look at that! It's a corn dog, a sandwich.
No, it's a corn dog.
No, because that's like a dip. You dip it in the cornbread or something, right? To make that happen. No, you have to, but you have to dip the meat in, and the cornbread surrounds it like a, like chocolate. If you dip something in chocolate and it surrounds it.
Yeah.
That's kind of what that is.
But
Stromboli's a sandwich.
No, it's not. Stop it.
I can't agree with that.
Italians
Okay,
don't make
Casey's lost her mind. Dojo says Casey's lost her mind. I agree. I do agree with that, Mo. Dojo.
Thank you, Dojo. I've been saying that for years. Casey's lost her mind. That's perfect. Man. I love it.
Dirk, your wife is a monster. I can't believe it. Some of these things, you learn something new about people every day. I've never seen so much made out of dough. I know, man. That's a lot. That is a lot made out of dough.
Oh.
A thing, another thing, and a thing in the middle. Sandwich. Boom. I can hear her saying this out loud. That's what's so funny. Putting her in the chat like this is like I can hear her actually saying this stuff live.
I just love
that. Yeah. What can you say, man? She can call anything a sandwich if she wants to.
So if you put up your trunk in your car, she's like, "That's a sandwich." And
that's right.
A sandwich. And no, it's a filter. No, it's a sandwich.
Yep. That's right.
God. Oh. I cried a little.
Oh man, so this was a lot of fun. So I don't know. You got anything else you want to add? Any of this stuff that you want to talk about?
Are you talking to me or are you talking to the chat?
Yeah, are we good to go?
Yeah,
I feel like we've covered most
We've been bad at keeping it under an hour, so
we have been bad about that.
We'll get into 2 hours if we keep going.
You know what, Dojo? I've just learned to live with it, man. You got to just kind of suck it up sometimes and just be like, it is what it is. So you better quit laughing or Casey will send you packing with nothing but a suitcase sandwich. That is true. That is true. It's very true. No, anyway, guys, we thank you so much for joining in. We just had a really good time. Thanks for the chat.
As always. Chat's always great.
We'll continue to give updates. Don't forget, if you haven't signed up yet for our book, please go sign up. It's at the top of the chat, should be pinned at the top there. It is also Cyber Monday. We're extending that through Friday. Maybe even in through the rest of the weekend. We'll see what happens. But we're trying to draw
now.
Yeah, it's a cyber sandwich. That's right. It's going to bookend on Monday to Friday. So you got a top and a bottom.
A thing and a thing and a thing is a sandwich. That's just a great.
Yeah, thing and a thing and a thing. That's great.
We've been going 2 hours.
I know, man. We're not going to go 2 hours anymore, guys. We're going to cut it loose. But we are enjoying having this. And thank you, Dojo. Thank you, Mo. Thank you guys for coming. Crazy Mad, everybody. 24 Eyes. We appreciate the talk. We've had a great time. And we will see you guys next week.
And we'll definitely try to do something. We'll have to try to get everyone in Ohio, like in the summer or something. That'd be cool if we could get everybody to go somewhere.
Heck yeah. That sounds fun. See you guys later.